How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about Trollhunter. This is from 2010 and is a found footage horror film from Norway. This was written and directed by Andre Ovredal and stars Otto Jespersen, Glen, Erland, Tosterud, and Johanna Morck. Sorry if I mispronounced any of those names. But in this movie, a brief view on the plot, no major spoilers, we get 3 college kids in a film crew. They want to be like news reporters or something in the future, so they're going to try to report on this story. There's been several dead bears found recently, and they're following this gruff-looking guy because they suspect him of being a poacher. So they're following him around, and we do get some fun sequences at the beginning of this film, like trying to follow him on a ferry and, just see what this guy's up to. They eventually follow him into the woods where they discover a fake blasting site. Fenced off, warning sign, but he just takes that down and drives in. They lose him for a little bit in the woods when all of a sudden he comes running out of the woods screaming, "Troll!" And something attacks the group, but they don't get a good shot of what it is. However, after talking to this guy, they become intrigued by what he's up to, and he agrees to let them tag along on his troll hunts, and they quite quickly find out that trolls are indeed real, and even though the first encounter looked very much like a normal found footage horror movie, don't you worry, we get to see some fun troll battles in this movie. Yeah, the trolls actually do show up, which I really like. They forked over the budget for that. Some really fun action there. But over the course of the following days, you have to answer the question, what exactly is a troll? How do we hunt trolls? And how has the government been covering this up for so long? Really, really interesting, and definitely is a really different movie. It starts off, like I said, with those found footage tropes, a bunch of lines that are realistic but ultimately kind of dull. In the first encounter, you don't really get a good look at the troll right off the bat, but then you do, and the movie changes. All of a sudden, you're watching along a standard found footage horror movie, and a giant troll with 3 heads and big noses, and he's tall as the trees, comes lumbering out of the forest. And here things are going to change from this point out, and it happens relatively early in the movie. I see a lot of people referring to this movie as a found footage parody and a comedy, and I guess I can see that. Personally, I don't know, maybe it's my little weird brain where rather than laughing, because it's not really, it's not constant jokes. They don't turn and mug at the camera. They don't just tell jokes about trolls, and it's not a laugh-a-minute comedy film. It's just they push it so far to the point where it is indeed ridiculous, but it's played straight 100% of the time, and more than wanting to laugh, I was just wanting to sit there and hear more troll lore and see more troll battles, and I was way more fascinated by it than maybe I should be. And the thing is, there is a ton of lore behind this movie, like a whole bunch, and, it's like, how do you hunt a troll? Well, it's not just point guns at it and have a poorly choreographed action scene. That's what so many other found footage movies would do, but not this one. How do you hunt a troll? Trolls turn to stone in daylight. So rig up a machine, a bunch of lights, and try to blast this troll with artificial sunlight. The main guy has this big flashlight cannon thing he carries around. The top of his truck is rigged up with these big lights. And they even go so far as to explain it's this vitamin D calcium issue that the trolls have and how it turns them into stone. It's really well thought out, you know. And then how do you track a troll? You look at the papers, you find stories about people that died under mysterious circumstances, you know the map, you know where trolls are likely to come from, and when you're tracking, you even do things like, smells like troll urine over there, he's definitely been here. And you get things like you want to clean yourself off really good, get rid of that human stench, and replace it with troll stench. You know, very, very well thought out. You know, you get Jeeps. His Jeep is a really fun piece of equipment. There's a bunch of little gear in this movie, and like he'll put bars on his Jeep later with these big points on it. At one point in the movie, they want a sample of troll blood, so you can't just blast it into stone. So he has to put on his big troll suit and get near the troll, and that's another really cool piece of gear. And there's so much lore in this movie. There's different types of trolls. There's like mountain trolls and wood trolls, and they don't necessarily get along, and there's different subspecies, which, yes, does lead to multiple different models for the trolls. The animators gave us several different types of trolls, and they all look really cool. They have the big noses, so they are cartoony and they are reminiscent of old-timey troll artwork, but they are a little bit, realistic too, you know? And I do love all the models the animators came up with for these different types of trolls, you know? And you get like lore, like the first troll they see has 3 heads, and the guy goes, oh yeah, he grew those later in life. The one with the eyes is its real head. The other heads are to scare off predators and attract mates, you know? So the weird little ideas that go into it there. But really, fighting and tracking down these trolls, I really wish that this would be the next horror movie that got turned into a video game. Because, you know, you get things like, you know, Chainsaw and Evil Dead becoming games recently. I can only imagine how fun it would be to get in your little van and try to track down this giant troll running through the woods and stuff. That would be really fun. But anyway, you get all this other lore too. You get things like they talk about power lines are secretly electrical fences in order to keep the trolls out of the populated areas, and how no one will notice there's a whole power line system that makes a big circle and doesn't seem to be serving anybody. What is it there for? It's a troll reserve. And you get things that are clearly a bit of improv, but they're still really fun. Like at one point they find a bunch of boulders on the ground, and he's like, yeah, there were 2 warring clans of trolls and there was a battle here. They were throwing the boulders at each other, but that was ages ago. And then there's like, they see random animals in a field. The government put livestock here in order to feed the trolls and keep them quiet. Clearly improvised bits, but fun bits of lore. But also the conspiracy. I really do like the government cover-up thing, you know? Planting corpses of bears next to attacks, making it seem like they're doing it. A really fun gag where some government guy comes out and he's got a stick with a bear foot on the end and he's placing the tracks into the ground. And yeah, you know, the whole power line thing. But the hunter, why he agrees to shoot this documentary is because he doesn't get paid enough. He's living in this little Jeep with an RV behind it, barely scraping by, yet keeping a huge government secret, and he's like, I get no benefits for this work. Maybe if you tell everybody, then things will change for me. And I really do like, he's telling people not a big sense of truth, but just That is interesting. And to see other people's reaction to the camera crew, like the people who are there to dump the bear, they see the cameras and they don't get angry. They just go, "Oh, hi, hey, is that a camera?" And then like a vet person who doesn't want to talk to the cameras, but when the guy talks her into it saying, "Oh, it's okay, and I'll take any responsibility if this goes badly," then she starts going, "Oh, well, these are how Troll works and the vitamin D and stuff." And I did think that was fun as well, to get the different levels of, oh, there's a camera and I'm doing secret government work. And you get like one guy from higher up in the government that's like, "You shouldn't do that, I'll confiscate your footage. But there's only one of me right now, so not much I can do, but you might see me later," you know? So I did think that was fun, you know, it's a government cover-up, but you see just how loosely things are, you know? And I did think that was really funny as well. So yeah, there are some funny moments, and there are some parts, you know, especially they always show the barefoot, and yeah, there are some funny moments, some goofier moments, and really just playing a troll hunt as straight as you can does get kind of silly. But yeah, more than laughing and joking about it, I did, and yeah, like I said, it might just be my brain, get way too engrossed in looking at all the cool little trolls and going, "Tell me some more troll lore. How do you do that? What? How do you find a troll?" And I got more invested in this than I probably should have, you know, and I guess a lot of other people just were laughing about it. But don't go in expecting an absolute laugh riot or a slapstick comedy, but a really well-defined world and really pushing an interesting concept and what a cover-up like this could be. And it is a really interesting and different found footage film, and I really did wind up having quite a bit of fun with this and would definitely recommend it. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Creature Features playlist if you want to see me talk about more movies like that. And if you like shark movies, a lot of the Creature Feature playlist is shark movies. But anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.